Walton council members met Monday, October 2nd, and will advertise for bids to conduct a townwide reevaluation of property assessments.
Based on values, current market rates, and there's another one Penny was telling me, I can't remember, but current market rate of current assessed value.
I understand, real property assessments at this
Change
point, why? Why is that?
because of market value is what I understand is the main reason.
No, is it because nobody has reassessed the properties or go through the properties in town and reassess them for the right value of them based on the real property value assessment. That's why. And why hasn't that happened and we have to pay a company to do it? When we have an assessor on pay.
Well,
Part of the problem is we should have, the board, we talked about this
Yeah,
way back when Fran was in here.
yeah.
We should hire, and I still think this is what we should do, an assistant to her to keep up on that, because that's gonna require quite a bit of time of somebody, we don't give her enough hours.
Okay. If the person doing the job cannot do their job on their pay at the time that they have allocated at this time, they should stand up and say, I need more pay, I need more time, or I need an assistant. Not wait 3 or 4 years and then make us spend $100,000 on it. You see what I'm saying?
we did mention that several months ago.
I understand we mentioned it. What I'm saying is, why it hasn't happened and why are we in this situation now? Because I guarantee you, in 5 years from now, we're gonna be in the same situation again.
Well, the state, according to Walton, Mr. Walton, whose Penny's been working with,
Yeah.
said municipalities should budget every year to have a revaluation every 4 years. That's his timeline.
Yeah.
And he cited some examples. Now, I think it's
But that-
Roxbury, don't quote
doesn't
me.
have to happen if you're on top of it on a regular basis.
But let me
But
continue.
what?
Some towns that are maintain their 100%
Uh-huh.
exactly have assistance to their part-time assessor. 20 hours a week.
So the key is part-time assessor, you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay.
20 hours
So-
a week. Doesn't matter what the pay is,
Okay,
according to Penny.
so make it 30
It's-
hours.
She can't. She cannot work for Walton for 30 hours.
Alright, so
Kevin hit the-
can you get her an assessor?
Can we get her
An
a,
assistant?
we can put a package together.
And I
try
think,
that.
What is cheaper, an assistant for $15,000 a year or $100,000 a year every 4 years?
We don't know what it's gonna cost. That's why we put the RFP together. It should be, again, all things equal, it should be less than what it was before because it was 40 years between
Well, that was
revaluations.
$250,000, $250,000.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yes,
here,
okay.
but it was expensive. But it was 40 years prior to that a revaluation was. It's been 7 now, 16, 17.
Yeah.
It should be less because the scope of the RFP is less.
My point.
But we don't know until we ask or we advertise for proposals. We just don't know what it is, what it's gonna be.
What did the guys that did it last time say?
I haven't talked to them. I haven't talked to them. That was another company, or that was a company. We've been working with
Wouldn't it
the
make sense to
state
use
real
the same
property
people
officer.
Wouldn't it make sense to use the same people that we used last time?
Well, they gotta submit a bid. If the board so approves
Whatever.
tonight to release that request for proposal, we can set that out and hopefully they'll bid on it.
I have no problem putting that out there, but depending on the cost, because,
My point,
we make it, we're trying to make it equitable for everybody, but
Yeah.
if we're spending $250,000 every 4 years,
my,
and
my,
they
No,
make
no,
all-
no, I know.
you know,
my point is, this is like Ukraine. It's a never-ending
Right.
sucker of resources. Okay.
That's
So
one of the reasons why the state.
My point is that once you put that request out there, you're committing to one of those bids.
No, we are not committing to anything. We're just saying, hey, what's it gonna cost?
So
What's your best price to do this? We don't have to
So
accept it.
they come 250, 225, 230, 215. You're
Okay,
gonna deny them all. What is your goal? 200, 150?
That's up to the mortgages.
that's up
That's
to,
up
once,
to-
that's
that's
up
up
to
to-
everybody sitting here. Are we willing to spend that much money to bring our, equalization rate back up to 100%? It's
Okay.
up to the.
So we're not committed.
No, we're not
No.
committing
Yeah.
anything, no.
Does Penny think,
Right.
does she think we could do it, get back up there eventually if we hire?
Well,
This is-
here's another caveat that Penny discussed today.
Yeah.
The way the state calculates it and the way she calculated it, and based on the current market,
Yeah.
she calculated Walton's current market at 86%. So how do we, at the end of the year, do we submit our figures to the state? How are we guaranteed that the state will follow what Penny says? Because we're at what the state tells us we're at. Period. So when the state publishes whenever they publish, I think it's at first of the year, equalization rates, we're there. But if we submit paperwork, can we ask the state, hey, we think we're here, can you change it? I don't know that answer, that's what I'm gonna ask. To go to 86%, because last year,
Do you think
markets
think
was,
that your state is gonna take less money?
it's really
Or
not.
they're planning to take 60,000 illegals into a state
It really, this money isn't
It's
anything
not
to
the
do with the
state's,
state's money.
It's money that the town,
Yeah, this is all
I
tax
understand
based.
that, but you know, there is taxes coming out of that valuation.
Well, it equals out, it equals out.
Uh-huh.
Not everybody's gonna change, some will change,
Yeah.
some will
Sure.
get higher, some will get lower, but
Somebody
most of them will
gonna
stay the
get
same.
punished and somebody is not going to get punished.
But ideally, it's to make everything equal, so the proverbial
But if we go-
Mrs. Smith doesn't pay more
if we go out and
for.
pay $200,000, everybody's getting punished the way I look at it,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but based on what Penny told me today,
Yeah.
the market has decreased to the
I would like
extent
to
that,
ask
To the
Penny,
extent that what?
that
In the
the equalization rate in her calculations is, what did I say, 86%?
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's my question, is a part of this is falls from COVID, and that hasn't leveled out all
Yeah.
the way yet.
Yeah.
So it was 77, now it's 86, that's a big
no,
difference.
no, that's Penny's calculation,
Yes,
not the state's.
I trust Penny's calculation better than the state's, is not what I'm saying.
But we are stuck with what the state says.
I understand that, but us doing that, the state doesn't have to agree either. Penny knows what these properties are, the state's just picking a number out of there.
Well, there's formulas they use and market
But,
trends and all
but-
that stuff.
But they don't know the market, is what I'm saying. Penny knows the market. I would trust Penny's numbers in being more accurate.
I
I
think
understand
so.
you can't use them, I'm saying you can do this whole
Okay,
$200,000 and still not have it.
based on the present interest rate for mortgages, okay? Is the market in Walton stronger or weaker than 5 years ago?
5 years ago,
Or 4 years ago, whatever that,
it's gotta be weaker.
right,
Interest rates are higher, that's why the equalization
Exactly.
rate is, the market isn't as strong.
I understand that,
People aren't paying $450,000 for a $200,000 assessed value house.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get technical to why that happens, or, I'm not
Mhm.
that versed in it, but in essence, people are paying more equal
Why-
to what the market value is.
Can we ask Penny to bring to this board a proposal that will allow her to stay on top of these things, that we don't have to do these things every 4 years or so.
Okay, well, I can ask Penny, sure.
She needs an assessor.
If that's what the board wants,
She needs
I
a
can tell her,
computer, she needs whatever she needs to get it done.
put a package together that would keep us,
She's a capable person.
oh yeah,
We have been
Yeah.
happy with her services, but we're finding ourselves in a situation where we might have to spend $150,000 or $200,000 to keep this thing up.
right, okay, that's fine. But I just gotta reiterate, months ago, the board agreed to move forward with
I have no
getting
problem
with a
voting it
request
out.
for
No.
proposal. So this
Yeah.
this shouldn't be a surprise that
No,
we've been
it's-
doing.
it's not a
Penny's been
surprise,
busting
yeah.
her butt. On this,
I don't say that, but remember, if you look at the thing, I was a little reluctant about it because I think that we should, having an assessor, whatever it takes, whether she needs more hours, if she needs a helper, or whatever it is, we should be able to stay on top of it. I mean, yes, it was so many years before that we had an assessment done, and so forth and so on.
Right,
and-
we had to do the whole
and-
thing.
and whoever is at fault for that, fine. But having had that done at a $250,000 cost to the village, to the town, sorry,
Mhm.
okay? Okay, I think that we need to prevent, it's our duty to prevent that from happening again, unless we absolutely have to. I mean, if it costs more money to keep it, to pay her or pay whoever it is than the assessment, then, okay, let's do the assessment every couple of years or whatever. But I don't think that it will cost more, and we should be able to do that. It's not like we have 300,000 buildings coming up in the town of Walton that need
I
to
agree.
be reassessed.
I agree. If that's what the board would like to see,
Well, I'd like to have options.
sure. Again,
Put this
yeah.
out there.
And,
Said maybe
during
this is-
discussion, Penny did mention that. I think there's one town in Delaware County who does have a assistant to the assessor.
Okay.
I don't know if they're a full-time assessor, but there's an assistant for exactly, and they've maintained 100%.
Let's determine
Yeah.
what it takes to do it.
Okay,
I mean, can we agree that it would be nice not to have to do it?
Definitely. yeah.
Doc, I don't think anybody's disagreeing with
Okay,
what
okay,
you're saying.
so what I'm saying is, let's find out what it takes to do it.
okay, sure. Now, does,
She's the one who should present that to us.
Well, she did at one point, I mean, and then we've been talking about this.
we didn't, we didn't push it or discuss it in full detail like we should, like I'm hearing that's what you want. You want a detailed report of what it's gonna cost to get a full-time assistant for Penny to do what needs to be done to keep
I wanna know what
the,
it takes
right,
Well,
for
you're not
her
talking
to
about
keep
it.
it up to date. I don't know if it's an assistant, I don't know if it's more hours, I don't know if it's more salary, I don't know what it is. What I know, what I think, as a member of this board, is that we have an assessor. And we had a reevaluation done 4 years ago. Is it 4 years now?
7.
7 years ago, or whatever, versus 30 years before that, or whatever, okay? 40 or whatever, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, which I don't agree with, okay? But what I'm saying is, we did the right thing. But it was with a cost to the members of this society. Therefore, we have the responsibility to keep this debacle from happening again. To me, that should have never gone 40 years. None of us were in here 40 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 20 years ago. I don't know, maybe you were. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was never,
But what I'm saying,
it was
what
never
I'm
brought up by
what I'm
an
saying
assessor
is,
before that.
that what I'm saying it was very clear to me after we did it the last time that we want to maintain the assessment at 100% or as close as possible.
Sure.
Okay? Okay? I mean,
Right.
that was
but
my impression.
after that happened,
I wasn't here when that.
but after that happened, COVID happened. So whether it was at
Whatever,
100%,
don't
but
blame it
no,
on COVID,
no,
please.
the things went crazy. Prices went crazy that would not have happened without COVID. And that's still, I think, equaling it out.
I understand it might be equaling out and all that, but like you said,
You also had,
She
what do we have,
thinks-
3 assessors
she
in that
thinks-
time? It hasn't been Penny. It's been 3 other assessors before it got to Penny. By the time it got to Penny, it was already out of the equalization.
what assessors? We only have one before her.
We had Fran, we had Penny, and we had your
Mark Jacobs.
brother, yeah, Mark Jacobs.
Mark Jacobs was
And didn't we
before
have one more
France.
that was in
Mark Jacobs was before France.
And we did it when.
When
we
we
did
did
it
I
it-
know,
when we
but
did- when
Mark
we did
Jacobs was
assess-
the assessor when we didn't do it for 40 years. I mean, it wasn't
Yes,
for 40
I
years, but I
understand
mean,
that,
but I mean, it started
but that
there.
is why
And
we
then we
didn't do
did
it
it,
for 40
and I'm not sure if he was still there, and then it went to Fran. No, we had another person was in there in the middle. There was one other assessor in the middle there that did the school and then quit.
I think, okay, let's get back on point.
You know,
Here's what I'm hearing. I'm gonna discuss it with Penny on putting a proposal for this board, what it's gonna take to bring an assistant on to
Whatever she needs
whatever she
to
needs
do
to
it,
the, right.
to keep
Yes.
it up.
Now, just, I
Now,
think I
when you're
mentioned,
talking about an assistant to do this project, or you're talking about
No.
an assistant forever?
it would be an assistant forever if that's what I'm hearing. If we
That's
get
not what I'm
back.
saying.
I am not proposing that she has an assistant forever.
Maybe it
I
ends
am
up that, but
propo-
that's
I-
not what I'm saying to
I am
start.
proposing that she determines what she needs to keep it up.
Okay,
Whatever that is,
okay, whatever it is, okay.
whatever that is. And then we'll decide whether we wanna go with that or not.
The thing is, I don't think the question is what she needs to keep it up first. It's what she needs to get it back first. And
What do you mean
then
getting
she
it
gets it
back?
back to the equalization 100%, hopefully.
Right.
Then, does she need extra help to keep it up? That's another conversation. That's not the conversation we're having
Maybe not,
now.
I-
maybe not
I-
as much of help, right?
I
Maybe not as much
Right,
help as.
and maybe that is what she needs, but I'm saying, I don't think that's the conversation we're
I
having now. We're
understand.
talking, this is a project right now.
I
What does
just,
she need to get it done? And then we don't have to
Okay.
stand out for it.
do you hear that she says that we're not at 70 something, we're at 87%.
Yeah, according to her calculations.
So, which is okay for the state. Okay, so the issue is, do we need to do anything at this point? Do we need to determine where we're gonna keep it? Is it 90%, is it 100%, or what?
Well, I think that's what she's doing.
And then we need to determine what it takes to do that.
Right.
Whether it's
So
a
there's-
assistant, whether it is a computer, whether it is
There's gotta
more
be
money
computer.
for her.
There's, yeah,
or
there's,
whatever.
there's two things we're talking. Let's finish the RFP. Discussion about the RFP. Do we want, now, there's been a lot of work done, and we are kind of on a timeline. Do we want to, is it the board's agreement to move forward with the RFP now, and then simultaneously, I'll discuss with Penny about putting a proposal together for what you're
Why
asking
would we move
for.
forward with the RFP?
because we need to see how the costs
Yes,
break down between
Yes.
doing the, hiring a company to doing it.
We're not
putting a
committed to
person in.
anything.
no,
That's what we're just looking at. We're
right,
getting
we're
the
just
cost.
asking for bids.
It's
We're
like-
just
Really
getting
just
the
asking
cost.
for
I was
bids.
thinking RFP was we were going out for bid.
That is.
Well,
Yeah,
But we have the right to reject. it.
right.
okay, we don't have to do anything.
We don't have
We
to
say
do
that we
anything,
don't have-
no.
We can do
It's just,
nothing.
hey,
You
what,
know,
give me a price on what you can do here.
You know, if
That's
you
all.
look back, and they went for 40 years without doing a reassessment, and we actually, I think we spent closer to 270,000, not 250,000. That works out to be about $6,500 a year. You know,
267.
people got a pretty good bang for their buck.
267 to be
What?
precise.
Hmm?
267,000
But,
Okay.
to be more precise.
but,
But
Yeah.
that,
It
well,
wasn't
still,
for-
it's not gonna change.
because it was
Yeah,
40
exactly.
years. I mean, you're not gonna get that same bang for your buck at that same money, because it's not gonna be 40 years. it's only gonna be 7.
I know.
But, right, I
Well,
know,
maybe,
So we
maybe
need-
that's
we need
one
a
of those
motion
things
to-
that we have to consider.
To do
I
that.
think-
What I'm asking, based on the guidance from the board from months ago, to put a package together to request proposals. That's what Penny has been doing. You got the emails.
As far as we're not committed
We're not
to
committed to
picking up a
anything.
bid
We're not committed to
or to
anything.
do anything about it,
Correct.
okay?
Correct.
No, no.
We can
I
just
would
get-
like, I
get
would
money.
like for her to bring to us before or by the time the bids come back, her solution to the problem.
Okay. Yeah, we can, it
You
would be the
you
next board
understand what I'm
meeting.
saying?
It'll be the next board meeting that, I'll sit down and talk to her and we'll say, let's develop a plan.
Mhm.
Other than hiring a company to do a reevaluation, what
do we
does
have to
she,
do to do it
what does
in-house?
she need to do it in-house?
Right.
I make the motion that we go out for the RFP to see what's out there, and as long as they always have that clause in it, you know.
Yeah.
it's reserved
Do we
right
have,
for
do we
attack.
have a threshold?
We don't know. No, that was one specific thing we tried
You
to
don't-
ask
you don't
the
want- You don't know if
state.
you wanna spend 100,000?
We're not spending
200,000?
anything.
We're not
Doc.
spending anything.
I know, but when it comes back, what are we
Then we'll-
looking for?
Then we'll
We'll
determine.
determine it.
It's gonna be
Here's,
based on what.
here's
she
what it's
tells us.
gonna
50 bucks,
cost,
we're gonna do it.
it'll be up to the board to move
Yeah.
forward with it or not,
Yeah.
that's all, yeah. I
I'll
don't
second.
think we can, okay, we got a motion and a second, any further discussion on the RFP for revaluation? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, we have one opposition, that would be Dr. Rodriguez. Okay, that motion is carried. Okay, that was good discussion though. I like that discussion. That's,
To subscribe or advertise, call 607-464-4009.